Well, I'm live. Do, 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 do. I'm alive. I'm alive. That's a darn good thing, because the world would be lacking in a lot if I wasn't still here. I guess I'm the first one here. While I'm waiting, I'll do something that we all should do. Pledge to the flag. Pledge of allegiance. We pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Very important. Now we got that formality out of the way. Just popped in here in the middle of a Thursday, so I'll probably be the only one here. Maybe I should say something. I brought my pencil. Give me something to write on, man. Hot for Teacher, one of my favorite Van Halen songs. Hot for Teacher rocks. It does, it does. Oh, the world is just despicable. Not the world, but some of the people in it are just despicable. Very despicable. This Gasilla from her channel Grizzly True Crime, she's pretty good. She spells her name Gisela, and she has her pilot's license too. So check her out, Grizzly True Crime. Oh, cool. There is somebody here. Hello, Christy. Is it Thursday? Bogle Queen. I want to start off with some things I'm curious about the bridge guy case, the Delphi case. I mean, it's timeline. Something keeps saying to me, timeline, timeline. I'm not talking about the timeline of the beginning and end of events, which is like 1:30 to 5:30 or 12 noon the next day on the 14th. But what about the timeline, like the day before? Everything that alleged Richard Allen was doing the day before the 13th of February, 2017. There's a he had to have something going on there hours before he was going to make his little trip, and he was going to make the trip to kill or maim or whatever it was. I don't believe he just thought of it right that day. But Valentine's Day was the 14th. A day after the murders, possibly. I've got my own theories on it. Oh, it's set to 45 seconds. Ooh, I'm new at this. 45 seconds. Oh well, that'll keep people from going too fast. Slow mode is on. I think I'm in a slow mode today. Slow mode is on. I want to shut it off. 45 seconds goes by pretty quick, don't it? So, anyway, the timeline before Bridge Guy actually killed the girls and the timeline right after he killed the girls. What did he do with his clothes? And I don't know about this muddy and bloody shit, but from the way they made it sound, his clothes. Did he wear? He wore them out the door before the killing, the same clothes, or did he change in the car? What did he do after the killing with the muddy and bloody clothes? Well, the investigators did find clothes in the creek, in Deer Creek. Excuse me. But they didn't say whose clothes they were. They just said clothing was found in Deer Creek. So, did he? Whose clothes were they? Libby's? Did he just rinse them off and decided against taking them with him? Well, this I'm confused. Okay, because if he took the clothes back with him, and they're saying that he wore the same clothes during the interview, with the conservation officer, or another interview that was after that with the cops. Well, I'm sure he had plenty with them. But what did he do on the morning of Valentine's, the morning before Valentine's Day, the morning of the 13th? Did he tell his wife, hey, honey, we're going out to dinner? We're going out to dinner, babe, on the 14th, tomorrow, Valentine's Day. I love you. I'm going to take you out. Don't pay no mind that I just murdered two girls and had to stick my bloody clothes in the washer. I was out deer hunting and I slaughtered a deer. So that's a big gap. That's a big hole for me. And this is the time that I'm interested in. Hi, all. I'm going through my monologue right now, so I'm not getting back to everyone too quick. And I don't know how to turn slow mode back off. So that's okay. Let it be teach patience. Can you imagine a guy, his dumb, innocent, naive wife can't keep tabs on him? If I'd pulled something like that, my old lady would be like, "Where you been? Where you been?" I went to a vaudeville show. So, what was Richard Allen thinking on the 13th when he went to bed that night? What time did he arrive down at the creek, at the trails? Well, we know he was there by 1:30. What was he doing for all those hours? Where was he? Was he sitting in his car, parked in front of the now defunct DSS Social Services building or whatever the heck it was? How about when he came home on Valentine's Day? And that's another thing. Well, let me interject into that, okay? When the coroner's reports do get released, we're going to find out if that's true about the different dates of death on the certificates. Because they weren't both, well, rumor has it they weren't both on the 13th, the date of death. One was on the 14th. I don't know if it was Libby or Abby. And then this rumor was going around. That's the way the parents wanted it to be. They wanted to have that date. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make any sense. So we'll find out that. That's something I'm curious to find out about. And but hey, honey, It's Valentine's Day, February 14th, 2017. Where you want to go, babe? Here, I got you a dozen roses. I love you. Mmm. Mmm. But I love myself more. But I'm not a narcissist. How did he play it so cool? Is this the guy? Is Richard Allen our guy? Is he the bridge guy? Do I think he's the bridge guy? I lean more to that than thinking he's not. Boy, some people are really good actors. And you got the bad actors too. Yeah, there's a time range there. Before and after the killing, he just comes home, clothes are wet. Doesn't make sense. Probably swatted him away like a fly. No, it doesn't make sense. Oh, hello, Wendy. Last great super wolf. Where you been, dude? Hey, Stu, my man. I mean, I think you're a dude. Maybe you're not a dude. I've been talking to you all these years, but I don't know if you're a dude or not. I don't know if you have that equipment. Hi, all. 45 seconds. See, Gray Hughes has to do that because he gets insinuated. He gets induated. We're not that popular. Hey, Gray, do you ever watch the Stu Sutcliffe channel? He commented in one of my comment sections one time. Forgot what it was. Something about the shack, the barn, the shack. Richard Allen and your ilk. Let me tell you serial killers a little. Let me give you guys a little good advice, okay? Now, this is coming from the heart. Bridge guy was wearing these when he was arrested. He wasn't wearing no tie wraps or anything. They put him in cuffs, okay? You don't want to be that guy, right? If anybody's listening to me or watching this and you think you're going to go out and kill some bitch, well, that's not nice. Kill a female or anybody, a child, anyone for that matter. The odds are you're going to get caught. There's more, even if it's years and years, you're not out of the woods like Mr. Our bridge guy. So do me a favor and think real hard. Think with your little brain. You might think it's fun to off some bitch, cut her up, rape her, do whatever it is. And why you need to do that, I don't know. But say you're one of those guys, one of those dudes that's just got it in his mind that he's going to do it, and you can't shake it. Get help. I'll even help you. You can like anonymously email me, and I'll try to talk you out of it. But just don't do it. Don't do it. Even if you're a horny bastard and you gotta have that up adrenaline, that adrenaline rush, and that's the only way you can do it. You better figure out another way. There's agencies that can help you too. And you had a bad childhood? Yeah, still no excuse. I had a bad childhood too. So did 90% of the people out here. And I mean, some of it was bad. Very, very bad. So you think you're going to be that guy? You're going to be the next big rising star serial killer? Going to go after children? Going to go after little girls like that guy, that FedEx guy did with his bullshit story? That poor little 7-year-old. Going to try to one up somebody? No, I can do better than that. You'll be put in a cell. You'll be put in jail. No, you'll be put in prison. You're not going to like being in prison. You're not allowed to cry. You'll only have a 6x9 cell most of the time. You'll get raped daily, which you would deserve, of course. Bubba's there. Only there's 1,000 Bubbas there. You're not going to like it. You're going to be like, God, I was so stupid. Why did I? Wendy, you had a bad childhood? Bubba and a beanie. But listen to words of wisdom, okay? I'm telling you, I'm going to save your freaking life if you're one of those guys or girls. That's just not as common. Mostly a dude thing. Don't do it. Think of another way out. If you got to watch some porn, watch some porn. Make sure they're over 18. But this killing of children has got to stop. You don't like them? Just go do something else. Go fishing. Go to the beach. Go on a road trip. Find someone that can be your soulmate instead of wanting to just cut them up and to slice them and dice them because you'll think you got away with it, and Bridge Guy might be the truth. I've shown these before, my YouTube things. I want to play with them, but I'm afraid I'll get stuck. It says stop on here, right on the one side of the cup. It says the words, where can I do? Right down there. It says stop. Stop teasing old people. I'm going to say something now that's kind of controversial. And I can do it on my channel because I'm live. Okay, this is going to sound weird, but you can research and fact check me. Girls that aren't very pretty, should I say ugly girls? I'm ugly too, so it doesn't matter. But okay. For some reason, ugly girls have it safer and are under less chance of being attacked than pretty girls. And there have been studies done on that. And that's psychological reasons in the dudes because they just can't stand seeing someone that's better than them or whatever. But it's mostly the pretty ones. And when it's not the pretty ones, it's usually like a home invasion where you don't really know what you're after. You don't have a target. And they're just more plain Jane looking. And some serial killers like the plain Janes. Most of them like to go after women that remind them of their mother, like Ed Kemper. Another sicko. He's still alive too. Big guy, man. Ed Kemper. How tall is he? Man, he's about 6 foot, 6'7". Big monster. There are monsters out there. But I'm just going to tell you guys one more time. You're watching this and you think you're going to off some lady. Don't do it. Remember Stu's words when you're sitting in that cell. Oh, there was this guy on the YouTube, man. Had this funny red wool cap, and a diploma in the background. And I should have listened to what that nerd said. Now I'm stuck in here for life with Bubba. Bubba. Bubba's going to get you. You want to be Bubba's girlfriend? Is it worth it? Fine. You go out and kill some bitch or kill some beautiful woman and find out what happens when you're put with Bubba. The best thing is don't do it at all. Talk yourself out of it or go for some counseling or talk to a friend and say, man, I got these feelings. I don't know if I can deal with them or not. You better deal with them, son. You better freaking deal with them. This is your last chance. This shit's got to stop. We probably can't stop it, but we can slow it up. Everybody should recognize the warning signs. Okay, so last great super wolf is a dude. I'm good. I thought you were a dude. Yeah, the terrible heinous acts that happen. It seems to be getting worse. The butchering of the 4 co-eds over in private Idaho is proof of that. That's those knives they were talking about. That Rambo knife, it's 15 inches long, if I'm not wrong. If I'm need correct me, but I believe that's 15 inches long. I don't know if that includes the handle or just the blade. The blade. I don't know. You women better start carrying guns or something, or bear spray. I don't know what to tell you. Even being aware of your surroundings doesn't always help. Now these people who want multiple victims, they don't even care if you're in a group. So what used to work to deter yesterday isn't working so well now. The world is getting worse. Price tag off the diplomas too. It's not in criminal justice, I'll tell you that much. It's technical. All right, so am I done trying to save somebody's life here by trying to talk some pervert out of killing some girls? Or they go on the freaking, what do you call it? Assisted care living. You get people that get jobs in assisted care living and wind up killing 80 and 90-year-old women. Nobody's safe, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody is safe from this shit anymore. No one's detoured. Why isn't there a deterrent? There couldn't be that many people that were abused by their mothers and fathers. How come my voice video is out of sync with the audio? It's a little bit of a lag. I think I'm a little bit of a lag. Don't do it, you want to be future bridge guys. You're angry, just kill yourself, okay? Just don't take anyone else with you. They didn't do nothing to you. Just off yourself if it's all that bad, if you got to do it. Or you'll be sitting in back of that squad car and hating life more than you do now. Why would you want to go from what you are now to a killer and then have to be put in jail with Bubba and all his cousins? What does that thing mean? Hot for Teacher by Van Halen. Got it bad, got it bad, got it bad. I'm hot for teacher. David Lee Roth just really turns me on. Oh no, a pussycat just got on my table. You're shaking everything, cat. Scram. Nice puss. You better be a nice puss. It's not in camera view. I don't think you can get through to these people. I don't think you can reason with them. They've watched too much Z Nation and stuff, man. They're poisoned. Their minds are polluted. Too much Living Dead, Night of the Living Dead, and Z Nation. I don't know what it is. You think they'll listen? Will one person listen to logic and reality? Or are they that far gone? I mean, just about every guy has got animal instincts and primitive instincts, but not like that. Not to those extremes. I'm sure there's times in human history when the men were men and carried clubs around and just clubbed the woman in the head, knocked her out, and got what he wanted. But in a civilized society, folks, we can't do that. We don't do that. You want to be bridge guys. And you're also ugly, too. No wonder a chick wouldn't want you. You don't know how to say anything or approach one or even use an old tried and true line. Hey, baby, I'm your telephone man. Tell me where you want it and I'll put it where I can. I can hang it on the wall. I can leave it in the john. Whack, whack. How did the Idaho killer dispose of his clothes? By darkness. He did it by the dark of night, 3 or 4 a.m. That had to be a bloodbath. I couldn't believe the pictures I saw. No, puss, you'll knock me offline. Come here, puss. This is a big house cat. This is a big calico pussy cat. Now you did it, puss. Got tangled up. Good kitty. No, don't get back. Cats are stubborn. They just get mad at you when you tell them not to do something. They go back and do the same thing. She'll step on my keys and knock me offline. Private Idaho. Blood was dripping outside the house down the building, ladies and gentlemen. That's like stuff horror movies are made of. You think these slasher and horror movies have any effect on people? Ted Bundy said that the True Detective crime magazines made him horny. Love David Lee Roth. Who's creeping down the streets of the city, smiling to everybody she meets? Everyone knows it's Wendy. That's not Wendy, though, because that song they spell it Windy, Windy, and this Wendy's Wendy, Wendy. Very confusing. That's the song the Beach Boys did, Windy. Wendy. Beach Boys did Wendy, and the association did Windy. Ay, 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 oy vey. Dirty, nasty serial killers. I'd like to pop a cat. They make me angry. I'd like to be on one of the juries. Yeah, so like I was saying, I hope I didn't offend anybody, but I think the unattractive women have a better chance of safety. Really, no one does, but I mean, statistic wise, mostly it's the pretty ones. And you can fact check me on that because I did the fact checking before I went and said a weird statement like that. I don't know of what importance it is, but maybe like if you lack in some of the social graces, it's okay and you're lucky because you get to live, unless you're just at the wrong place at the wrong time. So your sister was safe, Wendy? I mean, did she have any lasting effects, psychological effects from the kidnapping? No, I'm not. I'm not well versed on the Idaho case. I haven't really been watching it too much. I've been getting bits and pieces, and I know there's a bunch of Jacks. There's a whole bunch of Jacks involved in it, but so far no Jills. But it's. I'm sure it's fluid. I said in one of my last videos that it's a fluid situation. It's probably changing from hour to hour, and what some of the stuff I say here will probably just pass over and become obsolete in no time. But all I know is there's no suspect and there's no arrest. Am I right? To blessed be. Hmm. That's terrible about your sister, though, Lindy. She's one of the few that got lucked out on that. How old is she? How old's your sister now? Mm-hmm. Trying to figure out how to take it off slow mode, but I don't want to dump myself offline by doing so. Well, they might have suspected Richard Allen from the first couple of days, but I don't know. Maybe they kept that close to the vest. Maybe Tobes did have him on his list. It just nobody else found out about it. Harvey Carroll, everyone that was working it, and Anthony Greeno. If Anthony Greeno knew who it was, he would have been blabbed all over the place. But it sure took me by surprise. The guy just came out of nowhere. I really didn't think it was someone that lived in the town. I was wrong. I thought it was someone nearby, but not that close to Delphi. And if he had ever become a suspect in the beginning, I would have thought it was him like everyone else. Yeah, that's got to be the guy. He fits the profile. But so did a couple hundred other males, in Delphi. Looked like Bridge Guy, and they probably eliminated each one. Well, the cops might have another suspect they're thinking of that they just can't bust yet. Someone that worked in tandem with Richard Allen. I don't know if it's any of the Kleins or not. They come and go in and out. But I think Seagull, the Honorable Judge Seagull, will release some more stuff in February when I think they got a hearing. What is that hearing in February? Is that to make everything public and seal the paperwork, or is that pretrial motions? That's going to take a long time. I don't know how they get a timeline in February and March, and that ain't going to happen. I'm thinking more like a year. That's terrible, Wendy. So you guys have a pretty high crime rate up there. It's not just the USA and with our gun violence. But now these killers are switching to blades, man. They're like, screw the guns, man. They make too much noise. It'll get right up and personal, and they're using blades. Anybody else notice that? Oh, yeah. Sick society, and it's spreading. It spread throughout the world. Hey, Jigger. That sounds kind of weird to me, though. Saw somebody that was muddy and bloody. I wonder. I wonder about that muddy and bloody stuff. I wish I had a martini. Well, whoever stabbed or killed Libby and Abby, and pretty much everyone accepts that they were stabbed, and Libby was almost decapitated. That's been going around a long time. We'll find out if that's true or not. But what about the clothes? What about the bloody and muddy clothes? He could always say he wrestled a deer and the deer won, or in this case, it was a buck. I don't know. I don't know where that mud and bloody stuff came from. Who was the witness that the witness? I don't like using that word, but who was the witness that said that they saw a guy that was muddy and bloody? And if he was like that, then is he going to go home like that on Valentine's morning or something, or late Valentine's Eve? This case is still weird, not just because of the private Idaho case, which is another weird, crazy one with all those Jacks and no Jills. Pussy's back on the table behind the camera, foraging. Did I not feed you enough today, Puss? Pussycat, come here so I can remove you. Good kitty. Didn't boot me off. Law enforcement always says it's personal. You're damn right it is. When you get up and stab somebody and all over their body with a Rambo knife, that's a little bit personal stabbing, but often not true. Strangers on stranger happens a lot. Yeah, they always say it's usually someone you know, but everyone that's lived in New York and the Bronx and all knows different. Yeah, he probably had been in a fight, Super Wolf. Libby probably fought him back. Only he had the advantage. He had the weapons. And did Abby have a cell phone? Now they're saying that she had one. She had a burner phone that her mom was not aware of. So if she did have a phone, what was she taking pictures of? She wasn't holding one in the snap we have her going across the Monon High Bridge trestle. What did they do? Remove all the steel from that? It's just wooden ties left. There's no steel. They must have stripped the steel off it after it was decommissioned. Yeah, what was up with the dog murders? Well, they said it was small animals too. That somebody had been killing animals and skinning them in the area. That could be our guy. That was his practice run. Well, these dormitories and these rental places on off campus and all, they're just an accident waiting to happen. After all these years, they haven't learned to put up good security. Where are all the cameras at the actual address on Kings Drive, Kings Road, or whatever? You know, in this day of technological age, and they should have had cameras everywhere, man. Night vision, the whole deal. And they got these videos from a grub truck and some businesses nearby, and bar and all. They got that, but where's all the cameras like at the residence? And those woods behind that residence are pretty scary. Could have been watching them for days and days, and somebody got jealous. Someone was jilted. They couldn't take it anymore, and they went berserk. I'm glad they didn't kill little Murphy, that dog. That dog was supposed to be owned by Jack and Kaylee. Don't ask me which Jack. The one that she dated, that she went out with, that she broke up with 3 weeks ago. If that's accurate. I'll take a little break in the action here for you baby boomers. Baby boomer time, you old farts. Getting old. Y'all gonna die. Thought you lived forever. Talking about my generation. Hope I die before I get old. My time is limited. Today I have to show you rock and roll baby boomers the Yes album. And it looks like it's like a film design there, like a video. The Yes album with John Anderson, Chris Squire, and I don't know. It's been too long. I forget the rest of their names. And their disemboweled floating head. Came out about 1972 or 73. I don't know. It was recorded in London. Here's the flip side. What does it mean? What does it mean, ladies and gentlemen? It's sublime. It's on Atlantic, the Atlantic label. Oh, this copy's got a boo-boo. Some people want it just for the jackets. That's okay. I've got another one. I've got more than one Yes album. And for the next album, we have Deep Purple, Machine Head, freaking Deep Purple rocks. Oh yeah. I don't know when it came out, but Deep Purple, Machine Head, and it has the hit songs Highway Star, Maybe I'm a Leo, Pictures of Home, Never Before, Smoke on the Water, yeah, Lazy, and Space Truckin'. Come on, let's go space truckin'. I used to add a different word to truckin' and used to sing it that way. But this live stream is rated R for real Stu Sutcliffe. So that's our baby boomer cool records for the day. Now back to these perverted murderers. I got a lot of records, Wendy. I don't know what I'm going to do with them if I croak. There's a bunch of baby boomers are going to lose out on that stuff, but vinyl's coming back, making a comeback, I hear. So I'll have to I'll have to readjust my estate because men can just kick the bucket any time, no warning, man. You're just sipping a martini or just doing something online, all of a sudden you're like, you start thrashing about. My heart, it stopped beating, but I'm still talking. I'm not frightened of dying. Any time will do. Why should I be frightened? No reason for it. Yeah, I got some cool records I'll show you a little bit at a time. I've got a couple of them that would probably fetch $1 or two if I could get a hold of some collectors. Wink, wink. Who could that be? Probably be getting calls. Boost your blank size. I never showed it to anybody. How do they know I'm small? It's big enough. It had enough bratty kids. I know it works. All I need is for it to be bigger. Huh, screw that. Won't you take me down to Funky Town? You know what, Boggle Queen? I don't think I have any Zappa, and shame on me for that because he's a brilliant guy. I might have a CD. I know I got some of his songs, Call Any Vegetable and Valley Girl, and but he wrote songs for a lot of other people too. I don't have much Frank Zappa, if I have any, and that's weird. I don't know why. I just where I lived at the time, I just couldn't find any or purchase any. Dynamo Hum. Got some old suckers out here too. Pete Townsend. I wonder if he really hoped he'd die before he got old. He's old now. He got himself in trouble a few years ago with pornography, but he somehow beat the rap. He said he was doing a dissertation or something, and he had to do research. Dental floss tycoon. He's so gay. He is very, very gay. My brother's very, very gay. With his keys on the right, he's into rubber every night. Frank Zappa. How did we get on the subject of Frank Zappa on the Stu Sutcliffe live stream? Who would have thought? I wonder how Dweezil's doing these days. Living in your own private Idaho. I have a good feeling this case is going to get solved. It's not going to be a bridge guy thing. They're going to solve it. I don't know who's going to solve it, but they're going to. I hope they solve it. Who saw Yes live? Sparks? Was it a good show? Do you remember it, or were you wasted? Yeah, Jigger, they say most of your attackers and killers start out with animals, practice on animals, which is really a shame because people are supposed to be the steward for animals. Hey, that's my name. You're supposed to be a steward for the animals. And a dog is man's best friend if he's not a pit bull and raised wrong. There are exceptions. You see, you gotta understand the mindset of a serial killer. You gotta you gotta get them into your head, and you gotta think like they do in order to catch them and trap them. And you gotta have a body. You have to have a body, or you don't have a case. You can't send a man to jail for a murder if you don't have the body. Ah! Gotcha. Sweet little Sheila, you know if you see her, blue eyes in a ponytail, cheeks are rosy. What's the rest of the song? Something a little cozy. Mammy's little girl is fine. That was a Buddy sound alike. That was Tommy Rowe, Sweet Little Sheila. Or no, it's trying to sound like Buddy Holly. Me and Sheila go for a ride. That guy that sounded like Buddy Holly, that Tommy Rowe, not Tommy James that did Crimson and Clover, but Tommy Rowe. Some of my brain cells are gone. I lived those years and I want my brain cells back. I want my money back. I want a refund. I want a refund on my life. I want to get my money back for living. I can't stand this, man. Somebody must have been running their mouth. Why do I keep getting all these advertisements for male enhancement? All I need is enhancement. Somebody wants to stop my heart. I'll get them too before the day is done. Baltimore Civic Center, like in 1973. Wow, I wish I could have been there. Those were the good old days. You wouldn't have to worry about getting shot just because you showed up in a crowd. Same with Woodstock. 500,000 people out there. Nobody got shot. I don't even think there was a single bullet fired off. Can you imagine Woodstock today? A hip hop Woodstock. They have the ambulances and cops just waiting there. If it was 500,000 strong, about 200,000 of them would have been shot. My, how times change for the worst. Why don't you young people fix this? Don't be a part of the problem. It's you guys. We're passing the torch on to you guys. You don't like the way things are? Fix them because we tried and it didn't work. Bon appetit. Yeah, it's making me hungry. Wendy, what are you talking about? Shane Matt's not here to know what's going on. Matt who? Sheila said she loved me. She said she'd never leave me. True love will never die. We're so doggone happy just staying around together. Man, this little girl is fine. A Buddy Holly imitator. Hmm. I don't know how to turn slow mode off. Slow mode is on, but it matches me better because I'm a little slow. How the hell do you turn off the slow mode? I guess I'll have to live with it till I sign on, sign off. Just like me, a bunch of people out here don't know how to work it either. I need help from Gray. Gray, where are you? Gray gives a disclaimer. I want a disclaimer when I sign on. If you have problems stomaching real crime, real to life crime, then this is not the channel for you. I suggest you go to another channel. If you have a weak stomach and you can't stand blood and gore, you're on the wrong channel. Cats, oh yeah. And I think of him once in a while. I thought of him a couple days ago. Yeah, we lost him. We lost Hooser Bruiser. We kind of lost Anthony Greeno, even though he's still alive, but he's not here. Anthony, you better get your shit straightened out. I'm going to come up to that jail and kill you, man, if you don't fix your problem when you get out next time. If you get arrested again, man, I'm going to land on the roof with a helicopter and come down there and I'm going to get you. I'll get you before Bubba gets you. Now, Anthony's a street guy. Bubba won't get Anthony Greeno. I'll tell you people right now. Anthony Greeno can fight, and he's not afraid. He's got a very low fear factor. If any of those cons try to... He's not in prison anyway. He's in a jail somewhere. But if anybody comes at him, I feel sorry for them because he'll fight. He won't fight or flight. He'll fight. Hopefully he'll be with us soon and have his shit together, and I'd love to have him on the show because, he's never killed anybody, right? And he did some good boots on the ground videos with Delphi, but he still didn't uncover Richard Allen, and that's what I'm going to ask him. If I get to talk to him when he gets out, I'm going to say, hey, Tony, Renee, yo, come here. How come you didn't know about this guy, Richard Allen, huh? Kept us on a wild goose chase. You were supposed to figure this stuff out. We thought you knew who the alleged killer was. Oh, I'm so mad at Greeno. But I like him. I won't send him any more money. Bad investment. I don't like giving money unless I get more back than what I give. Verify, I say. We are dumb. Speak for yourself. Greeno done excellent videos. Jigger, you kind of helped out too, man. You're a regular man about the videos. Your experience, tried and true. Just so the audience knows who you are. Yeah, everybody hopes Greeno does better next time. He's impulsive. Okay, he's just one of these people that's impulsive and makes quick decisions without thinking, and they get him in trouble. And I've known a host of people like that through my life. A lot of people like that. They're just wired that way. And they usually have a lot of talent. Yeah, like I said, Greeno's different. He gets in trouble for stupid shit. He hasn't killed anybody, and he might have gotten sauced a couple times and thrown a couple punches, but he's not a bad dude. But being in jail that long, it's not good for his psychology. And everybody knows Greeno too. And he's got a lot of slandering on the web. A lot of websites are really down him. You just do a search like that. Search for Anthony Rene Greeno, you come back with about 1,000 pages. What the hell? Yep. Where's the fear? How come people aren't detoured anymore? Why aren't they afraid? When I was young, man, the slightest drop of a pin would scare me. It's like, I don't want no jail. I'm going to do what I have to do and be successful and follow the plan. I'm not going to wind up getting all screwed up. Had a few close run-ins. Almost did a couple times, but it's true for most people. Yeah, Michael Katz. I miss Michael Cat. He owed me $500 too, but I forgave the. I forgave him for that. He doesn't have to pay me now. And don't forget Randy Gravett did some good videos too, and he actually went down on the trails. And he's pretty large now. I wish Randy would take off some weight because I don't want him to be next. So it's hard on his heart. Randy, go on a diet, dude. We love you. Randy Gravitt's been on the case. Everybody was wrong though, man. No one person knew who Richard Allen was. Tobes might have. He kept that bullet on his desk, I hear. The unspent bullet from the Sig Sauer. I'm sorry about that 45-second delay. I don't know how that came on because I didn't select it, but I'll be more careful next time. It says slow mode is on, but it doesn't tell me how to turn it off. I'm afraid I'll get booted like I used to get booted from AOL. Anybody remember America Online? You've got mail. They made that stupid movie with Meg Ryan. Come here, cat. You're a star. Come here, puss. Cats are so cool. No, you're going to dump me off. Down on the floor you go, puss. Nothing like a 15-pound kitty on the keys. Well, when Renee gets out, he should try to get a job at a mainstream media because he's young and fresh, and I don't know about his past. I mean, he's got a lot of support, people saying that he's good. He should go to work for CNN or Fox or something, make some big money. Wendy, if I go to the settings while I'm online, it might dump me. I'm just going to let it be for now. I'll make sure I don't select it next time. Because I could go into edit, but I don't know where it's going to make me wind up. What does that do? I want to find out what a lot of this shit does. But engage with your audience. Ooh, wonder what that one does. Edit, end stream. No, I don't want to do that yet. What does this do? Yeah. Oh well. Back to the chat. I don't know, Wendy. I'm not going to mess with it. Yeah, you think Greeno was partially framed? I mean, he didn't do anything horribly bad. He just got caught with some pot while he was on probation, and he violated his probation twice, which is why they gave him so much time this time, which I think was, I don't know, it was 24 months he got. They really threw the book at him. When you're in law enforcement, Renee's probably not a real likable guy. I mean, think about it. They're probably tired of him. And they're probably a little jealous of him, too, because he's intelligent. Somebody poisoned the water hole. Yeah, you got to watch out for the X's. You piss them off. I don't know what they're going to say. Take a polygraph, I say. Take a polygraph. Oh, speaking of polygraph, ladies and gentlemen, how come nobody talks about Richard's polygraph? The bridge guy's polygraph. 2 polygraphs that were taken. Anybody out here know anything about that? Of course you don't, because it's a Stu Sutcliffe, whatever you call it. Stu Sutcliffe one. Yeah, you heard it here first. But Richard Allen was given two polygraphs. And the source I got told me they came back inconclusive, so there can be a lot of reasons for that. And it must have been while the cops were interviewing him, because it's not admissible in a courtroom. So there wouldn't be no court order to polygraph someone. That doesn't happen because you can't use it in court because it's not more than 95% accurate. And you took the words right out of my mouth. It must have been while you were kissing me. Meatloaf, man. I miss Meatloaf. I liked Meatloaf. Thought he was a pretty cool dude, man. When I was a kid, I heard him singing about Paradise by the Dashboard Light. I was like, oh, wow, man. Paradise by the Dashboard Light. I want to get on some of that. And I did, but not with Meatloaf. Don't let your meatloaf. Maybe slow mode took the day off. Yeah, Meatloaf was good. Yeah, he was unhealthy too, though, Meatloaf. He just had too much weight on and performing, and I didn't think he'd live to get real, real old. That's a shame. And most large people don't live a real long time. You don't see many 80 and 90 year olds that are over 250 pounds. It's just, but then some of them do. You get exceptions to every rule, right? I better cool that. They'll get me for infringement. And to be infringed on is not a good thing. My hair has been sent out to the dry cleaners. Yes, as far as I know, it's safe. One of my dogs got a hold of it last week and is going through a lengthy process to restore it. Thanks for asking, Sandra. Yeah, Greeno does stuff. He gets in trouble for doing stuff. And after he did stuff, she went home and Mary came over and he did Mary. It's a little chilly where I'm at in the Carolinas. I avoided all that snowstorms and all the horrible conditions on the road, people dying on snowbanks and in their cars. What a horrible winter. By the grace of God, me and my family made it through, and don't know anyone that got stuck in that. But and it got cold here. It got down to low double digits, almost high single digits, but no snow. It was just cold. I had to turn my outdoor spigots on so they drip, so they wouldn't burst from the frozen water pressure. Yes, water expands quite a bit when it freezes. It'll bust through steel and iron. Very interesting. Rocky Horror Picture Show. I remember doing the time warp. Let's do the time warp again. It's just a jump to the left. That lady recently died, man. That was in that movie. That came out around 1973 or 74. Anybody out here ever see Phantom of the Paradise, that spoof on Phantom of the Opera with little Paul Williams? Oh, hey, Wendy, I know what I wanted to ask you. I wanted to ask Wendy if she is familiar with a show called The Prisoner, starring Patrick McGoohan. We made 17 episodes of a really cool show, spy show. It must not be much fun to be a spy nowadays. Yeah, these stupid serial killers. You'll turn right around no matter what you're told and do something stupid. Think you'll get away with it. I'm smarter than they are. You're not smarter than they are. You're stupid. You only think you're smarter. One of these days, some lady carrying a gun in her purse or in a holster is going to pull it out and blow your brains out. Hey, Mark, I did lose a couple pounds. But I don't know if that's good or bad. I don't know if I lost it for all the wrong reasons or not. Usually, if you just start unexpectedly losing weight, that's not always good. The Prisoner was great. Not a lot of people over in the States heard of him, but I mean, it was just so ahead of its time. The ending, the last episode, was kind of disappointing. They could have redone that different, but I found out that Patrick McGoohan, was in a rush, or he was being pressured by the producers to end the series, so he had to come up with something on the fly. Yes, the hair has to go through many processes to restore it. It has to be stored in a special humidity person-sized humidor. One small mistake in the temperature and the dry cleaning could destroy it. And I plan on selling it on eBay one day. But it is just so freaking chilly around here. I tried to get one of those wool caps like that looked like the ones Mike Nesmith used to wear, but I couldn't find one. Hey, Wendy, I'm going to get a burner phone soon, so I'll be able to take phone calls when I get out here and do this. Because obviously I can't give out my regular business number. I would be harassed. It's on Amazon Prime. I don't do Prime. I don't order enough to join Prime. I read the fine print. I didn't really like it. I was going to get an Amazon credit card too, but I didn't like the interest rates and I didn't like the fine print on that. So if I want to buy something and I can't get it with cash, I just won't get it. Where am I? In the village. Who are you? The new number 2. Who is number 1? You are number 6. I am not a number. I am a free man. Yeah, I get my burner phone and I'm going to make obscene phone calls. If you get your burner phone in cash, you don't sign any papers, you wear a hoodie and stuff so the cameras in the Dollar General don't see who you were. And it's throwaway. You use it on YouTube to talk to some people online and you don't move around with it. You just turn it on, turn it off when you change locations. I know. I had some friends from Queens. I know how to work burner phones and how to set them up, okay? I am from Queens. A bee stung my eye, and it was the frozen eye, and it hurt. Ah! It was, I lost my eye, my one eye. Wendy, you seem to know a little bit about burner phones yourself, Toots. I think she likes me. Shut up, Beavis. No, no, fire, fire. 78 in Pompano. I probably will never come back down there again. I'm getting too old, but I grew up in Pompano. Right down the street from a car dealer that used to be called Terry Ford on Federal Highway. I lived over there. And I had a job as a dishwasher at the Flaming Pit until it burned down. That's kind of ironic. It's like an oxymoron. I had a friend in Pompano that was killed at the convenience store off Atlantic Boulevard and where the Pompano Car Wash was. And he was killed in 1977 on Thanksgiving. He was robbed and killed. His name was Leo. Oh, Pompano, hats off to you, of valiant colors, gold and blue. Sucky ass football team. I lost my virginity in Pompano Beach in the back of a Ford LTD. I don't know if there is such thing as a good criminal, Wendy. I'm beginning to think there might be more arrests in Delphi. But it's just speculation. It's just a feeling. I mean, everybody's just been so wrong with this case. And it gets solved. And the only other thing that can go wrong with it is there won't be any convictions. But Judge Seagull, Fran Seagull, is going to make sure the trial is carried out properly. She's a no-nonsense judge, from what I can understand. She ain't going to take no crap. She's going to keep her courtroom a nice, tight place and keep it all real. Simply irresistible. Yeah, let's go back to the 80s. How about Billy Squire? Stroke me, stroke me, stroke. He must have had a good song. Didn't Billy Squire have a good song? At least one. I've got the big beat. Who was Billy Squire? It was like a Robert Plant wannabe sound alike. But he had a couple good songs. I can't think of them. Billy Squire. Everybody wants you. Dun it, dun. Yeah, that was a catchy song. But this one was like slower, like more of a love song. Dun it, dun it. Billy Squire. Oddball. Just came out of nowhere. Rock Me Tonight. Yeah, that was a good. I like that song, but everyone made fun of the video because he was wearing pink and he was like being like really gay in the video. Take me in your arms, rock me tonight. That wasn't a bad song, but they said the video made people like kind of look twice at him. Wouldn't have meant shit today, but back then everybody was looking for a reason to be homophobic. And Billy Squire was wearing pink. Come on, he's a freaking rock star. Wear any darn color he wants. And he can act like a fag if he wants. He just got some bad advice from his producer. Let's make an album with you being a real blank, blank. It'll create a lot of controversy. 15 years before the internet begins. In the dark. Dun, 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 dun. You know, he was a good musician if he wrote all that shit himself. And all. I mean, Billy Squire had some good songs, but they just picked on him for some reason a lot. I just didn't take him seriously. I thought the music was good. Mark, my sister lives in Pompano. Well, technically Deerfield, but it's got a Pompano mailing address. She owns some property down there that, like all the other property, it appreciated in value. She bought a place for like $14,000 years ago, and it's worth half a million or more now. That performed better than the stock market. Yeah, be careful down there in Pompano. I just couldn't take it anymore because it's just too crowded and too hot and too many bugs. Uh, she's 51 years old and never married, but she's got a boyfriend and she works in the medical field. The Bee Gees were interesting because they made themselves famous twice. First were all the songs from the 60s and the early 70s. I just gotta get a message to you. All those Bee Gees songs. Then disco came along in 1970, late 76, early 77, and he learned to sing falsetto. You know, they like reinvented themselves, and the rest is just history, man. They just stole the stage, you know. You should be dead. I can't do it anymore. I used to be able to sing falsetto, but he sing real high in that queer voice and did it so perfectly, like the ones before him, like Lou Christie and the guy with the Four Seasons, Frankie Valli. All those guys have learned to sing that falsetto. You should be dancing, yeah. Maybe I can do it inhaling. Ah! Oh, that was painful. The preacher looked at me and he smiled. Said, come walk with me. Come on, walk one more mile. Now, for once in your life. What key? Hey, what key? Fingertips, man. Stevie Wonder. Everybody say, yeah, yeah, yeah. with Marvin Gaye on the drums of that song. I thought it was Hal Blaine, but it was Marvin Gaye. Little Stevie Wonder. People wondered how he could play the harmonica so good. Yep, only one BG left, the big guy. He probably feels really down in the dumps. Who knows with cops? They might have known all along, but how do they keep it so tight? You think one of their stupid wives would blare it out, get mad at her husband or something and spill some of the beans. I don't know. It's a sharp contrast to Private Idaho, where they want everything out. You see that dude, man, that Kaylee's dad, that's really inserted himself into the case. He's all stocky built dude, man. Guy's bulked up, and he's got a big mouth, man. I wouldn't want to meet him in a dark alley. He'd put a hurting on you. He's out there telling the cops what to do and wants to be part of the investigation. Kaylee's dad. Conclave. What's the proper way? I need the proper way to spell that. I'll have to go to some of the other videos. Kaylee Conclave. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but her dad's a badass, man. He is a badass. He's really getting on the cops, putting some pressure on them. Unlike Delphi, where it's just like, did you hear anything today? I don't want to rush you. Just do your job. We trust y'all. And Kaylee's dad comes along in Private Idaho. Hey, y'all don't know what the hell you're doing. I want you to re-interview these people again. You interviewed them too quick. Do it again. Wow. Strange, but not a stranger. Burning down the house. Any Talking Heads fans out here? I talked to enough deadheads. I don't care about the deadheads. How about the Talking Heads? I keep thinking of that darn Ed Kemper, man. I wish he'd get out of my head, that darn murderer, killing all those women and killing his mom. And you know what he did to his mom? I'm not even going to repeat it. Usually it's anything goes. But what he did to his mom was the worst thing you can do to your mother, besides chop her head off. See, now there are cameras everywhere. Those serial killers got away with it so long in the 70s and all during Bundy and Gacy's reign. And Danny Rolling. There just weren't any cameras anywhere. The technology wasn't there yet. You had cameras in the bank, some great big old bread box size thing hanging on the wall up front, that would take little frames every couple seconds using film. But serial killers got to really think twice before they act now. But they don't. And it's just desanitized to it. Oh, there's cameras everywhere. I know I'm being watched by cameras. I'm not going to do this. There's probably hidden cameras. Oh, I don't see a camera. You're not going to see a camera if it's planted good. Your deer cams. Feast your eyes on this, ladies and gentlemen. This is a dash cam. It can be used for many other things besides dashes. This can be modified very easily to be a deer cam or to surveil your house. This is audio and video. SD card inserted, 32 gigabytes. And it runs on 12 volts. So it's really easy to power. I got a bunch of these things, and I don't even think I've used one on the car yet. I have other uses for them. You can make a YouTube video with them too, but the resolution's kind of funky, and they got the wide angle lens for cars so you can see. I got narrow tunnel vision. And you may say to yourself, how did I get here? just tickling our fancy. Speak up, I can't hear you. Here on this mountain top, whoa, I got some wild, wild life. John Goodman was in that video. Stu, you know your stuff. Love the Bee Gees. So many great legends are gone. Gone too soon. You're born to live and you're born to die. And you're born to run. At night we sweat out on the streets of a runaway American dreams. And at night we ride the mansions of glory in suicide machines. Sprung from pages on highway map, come with fuel injected and stepping out over the line. Oh, maybe it's time, it's the bones from your back. It's a death trap. It's a suicide rap. The boss, Bruce Springsteen, the boss, Boss Hog. Oh, Daisy Duke. Oh, what Daisy Duke did to a young Stu. I was just so young, and Daisy Duke came on the screen, and I was like, and I made my mind up then and there that I would not become an incel. So I made my first score at age of 16. Don't remember too well. I was really drunk at the time. No, I wasn't drunk. Pink Floyd was. Roger Waters. And Sid. Poor Sid. Well, Kaylee's dad reminds me of Maury Murray's dad. He wants the answers. Yeah, I'm not too up on that case yet. Happy holidays. And she was, yeah, I forgot about it. And she was. That's a really good song, Mark. I remember the video to that song too. Boy, the '80s was great when it came to music. I'm 64, and the time's going by way too fast. Getting shit in the mail from freaking Medicare. I'm like, God, man, I'm amazed to even be alive. Some of the crap I pulled with my friends. I rolled a Monte Carlo over. We were chasing down the highway in Fort Lauderdale by the New River Tunnel. I came upon a grass bank, and somehow I hit it with my Monte Carlo, and I rolled once and landed on all four. The car was drivable. The only thing that came off it was the battery. We put the battery back in where it went and actually drove the sucker away. And now, after all these years, I never called the cops or anything because we were doing something we weren't supposed to be doing. And now, all these years later, I get a little pain where my spine reaches my head because when I rolled the car over, it compressed my head down. And it didn't hurt at the time. It didn't hurt at all till like 6 months later. And then it didn't hurt for a long time. Now it's bothering me again. So it's cool. I'm trying to think what year that Monte Carlo was. It might have been a 74, but the seat would turn when you could sit in and turn the seat around, and then you're facing the front of the car. It's really weird. Gray Hughes says hello. Where is he? I don't see him. An a pessimist and an optimist. Yeah, everybody blends in. I guess the world needs some narcissists, or everything wouldn't get done. You got to have people that are sure of themselves and think their shit don't stink to accomplish things. If you have self doubt and all, and you're real quiet and all, you get walked all over. So there's a good side and a bad side to a narcissist. I'm sure many inventions we use every day were created by the ideas of narcissists. Yeah, Bruce Springsteen. That song, his first song that was released, Born to Run, was like a wall of sound, man. That was a great production. And he was so young then. And he was trying to make a wall of sound kind of production like Phil Spector. Yep, I lived right off Federal Highway, all mostly during the 70s. Hung out around Commercial Boulevard, Oakland Park Boulevard, Broward Boulevard, the Strip. When I turned 18, it was legal to drink. I was down on the Strip. Me and my friends had muscle cars. We had Mustangs. We had Chevy Novas. We had V8s. We worked on our cars. They had carburetors, no fuel injection. I quit high school at 16 to get a job. Went back 2 years later, got my GED. I don't know, Mark. I never heard of that case. I probably wouldn't have cared much anyway. I was a partier. I was a partier just like those kids were over there at Private Idaho. You know, we had people that didn't party and had all kinds of problems and all, but they wouldn't shoot you. We didn't solve our differences by gunfighting, that's for sure. Used fists, maybe a pipe if you could find one. 454 Chevelle, yeah, I couldn't match that. I had my 350. My 350 was done up pretty good, but couldn't mess with the big blocks. Did you know a guy down there named Jim Conley down in Pompano? Throw a couple names at you. Jim Conley. He recently died. He was one of my good friends. How about the Venners? John J. Venners or Chuck or Jerry Kahn? Yeah, we'd spend days putting headers and changing the cams in our engines. I don't know if Ed Kemper was an ex-policeman or not. I think he's one of those ones that carried a badge with him, a fake badge, and would flash it. But I sounds familiar, like he might have had something to do. I think he hung out with law enforcement a lot. He'd go to lunches, and he was like John Gacy. He'd blend in pretty good until they started suspecting him. I had a Datsun 240Z too, Wendy. A little radical little four cylinder with dual carburetors. Those cars of the 70s just did not hold up. They did not hold up to the test of time. That's why you just never see any of them on the road. You'll see plenty of cars from the 80s and the 90s, but there was quality control issues in the 70s. I don't know why, but they were just the cars were fast and they looked good, but they just didn't hold up good. They you couldn't get like over 200,000 on an engine there without rebuilding it. Now it's cars hit what 250,000 miles with no sweat. If you put 100,000 miles on a Ford Granada or a Ford LTD or any of the cars they had back then, you'd only if you got 100,000 miles before you had to rebuild your engine, you were lucky. And that's one of the reasons why the Japanese started influxing cars over to us. Started selling cars in the states because they were tighter, they were made to better specifications. They used that little tool called a micrometer to make sure everything came together just right. And the people were like, "Man, these little Japanese cars are attractive," and their build quality wasn't all that great in the very beginning. Toyota sucked for the first couple of years, but then they like took the bull by the horns. But all the 70s cars just did not last. They rusted. Some of them were rusting in the showrooms before you even bought them. And the designers and engineers, they were learning as they went along. The public wanted one thing, and the designers were trying to keep up, and they were rushing things. They had to get it done. Tolerances weren't close. But a couple of people in my neighborhood up here have classic cars. Cars that cost $2,000 are worth about 40 or 50,000 now. They're in good shape. But man, I liked some of the Chrysler products back then. They were just hot looking, man. They were hot looking. The Dodges and the Chryslers, Hemi engines. They didn't hold up either. They rusted out. I had an Impala. The transmission just about fell out. We went over a railroad track, bump over a railroad track, and the transmission mounts popped out. This is not good. And we didn't do front wheel drive. The Cadillac Eldorados were the only American cars I saw back then that had front wheel drive, and I was like, "No, that's kind of funky, man. The engine's in there sideways, and you're doing a burnout. You're trying to do a bleach burnout, and smoke's coming from behind the front wheels instead of the back. It didn't seem right." Mhm. Some of these serial killers were so damn bad and stupid. Like Bridge Guy, I'm beginning to wonder now. I might have made a mistake, y'all, saying that Bridge Guy was an organized killer because the years went by, nothing said. And I'm thinking to myself, there's organized and unorganized. Someone got out here and told me the other day that there's a serial killer can be organized and unorganized. Okay. But now I'm having second thoughts about thinking he was so smart. I think it was a dumb luck. I think every inch of the way, even, finding the bullet and stuff, getting away from it, getting away that long, I don't know. I'm getting kerbobbled. But I don't think he was all that smart and organized just to not get caught all those years. And he was putting all those hints out, or else the townspeople are just naive. But maybe he wasn't organized. Maybe he was a disorganized killer, but was an organized killer wannabe and did a pretty good job at it. Because, I mean, almost 6 years right under their nose, and they knew it. Can't wait for the trial to go. What if he cops a plea and there is no trial? How's that going to make you all feel? Make you feel like you're having sex, but the person stops before you get gratified. You work up to that point and it just stops. You're like, hey, what are you doing? You ain't done yet. Get back down there. So Bridge Guy might say, okay, I'm going to plead guilty. If you give me life, don't kill me. I say, if you plead guilty to it, we'll give you life, and we'll avoid a trial and all the embarrassment in the family and all. So that could happen. And if it does, it'll let me down. I don't want him to plead. I want him to go through the whole process I don't care what it costs the federal taxpayers or state taxpayers because I don't live in that state. But I want to see it go through the whole process. And it'll be a learning process for your young people and everyone else. You'll get firsthand to see what a trial's like if you don't remember the OJ trial, if you're not old enough or didn't follow that. You'll see how our legal system works, and it'll be fascinating, all the motions and objections, and just to hear the questions that the defense lawyers and prosecution lawyers are going to say to paint this guy in whatever light they want to paint it in. Your Honor, look at our client. He wouldn't hurt a mouse. He wouldn't kill a fly. He's innocent. He was doing his laundry on the day of the murders. Your brother wrecked the Chevelle. Bad brother. Bad brother. Yeah, I drove enough cars into ditches and I wrecked my share too back then. I'm a much better driver now. But it's true, when you're young, you just don't have a lot of fear. And it was my car. It wasn't like my dad's car or anything. It was my car in my name. I used to hate those three on the tree shifters, man. Shifter belongs on the floor. I had a station wagon with that kind of shifter. It was a three speed. Well, the OJ trial was broadcast. I don't know why they wouldn't let it on TV, but they won't. Delphi will not let it be televised. You'll have what happened each day. The court reporter, the artist will draw the little drawings of everyone's expression. That sucks. But maybe they will. Maybe Seagull will want to be really transparent, let it happen. I'd like to know more about the first judge assigned to the case that recused himself from it. Not much information on that. I learned how to drive a stick shift right away. I watched people do it, and the first time I got it was in a Volkswagen dune buggy, 4 speed, four on the floor, reverse up in the upper left-hand corner, and I just drove it away. No one told me anything. I just figured it out. I just let the clutch off slow, watched the gear, put it in gear, and went through that gear, pushed the clutch back in, went through the next gear. It was fun. Fred Flintstone chiseled sketches. No. Well, I wish some of these powerful lawyers would come forward so we could see it. Nobody will put their own time into it and televise it. Televise it. What have you got to hide? It's we the people. We'll have to just see what happens. Maybe we'll be in for a surprise. But yeah, the court reporters and artists they got to do it real fast, so they just sketch it out with chicken scratch. All right, my dear viewers, I'm going to go now. I got to do some things around here. How long have we been out here? What time did we start? I don't know. Oh well. Won't be televised. I don't think it will be. I doubt it. It'd be nice if it was, but it's just too sensitive. Too sensitive of an issue. The townspeople will storm the courthouse with their torches. All right, everyone. It's been fun. It's been fun. I must go take a nap now. We'll do another live some other time. And thank you all for participating. And I like that there's no mods out here. I don't know where those mods come from, but I don't want any mods. So if anyone's got any mods, leave them at home before you come out here. You guys are welcome. Thanks for taking your time, some of your time out of your day to listen to me ramble, like ramble and road. I think it was a good discussion. I think we all did good this afternoon. Really good discussion. We covered a lot of ground. And just as long as I make my last statement, for you potential wannabe serial killers or rapists or torturers, this is what you'll get. And you'll get in a 6 by 9 inch jail, 6 by 9 foot jail. And you'll pray that you're by yourself and that you don't have some 6'4" roommate. They'll make you get a tattoo of a couple of knockers on your back. You asked for it. You know what the consequence will be. I just told you. If you're stupid enough to go through with a murder, you're going to get caught. They're getting better and better at it. And it just torments them if they don't get caught right away and the years roll by. Then it's even worse because you know you're going to get caught. So think twice. Bye, everybody. Stu Sutcliffe. Till the next time, end stream. I'm ending the stream. I'm going to go to the bathroom and make another stream because I've been sitting here and I got to pee like an Arabian racehorse. Bye, bye. Maybe my twin brother Stuwart will get out here and do a live one day. I'll talk to him about it. Sayonara.